So is this a laboratory or a bakery? It's both today. Welcome to Carbonize This. Today we get to combine three of my favorite items: mathematics, food, and biochar. So the Greek letter pi represents the numerical value that is for the ratio between the circumference of a circle and its diameter. People all over the world celebrate pi on 3/14, March 14th. So today, to celebrate Pi Day, we're going to carbonize two different pies. So the first pie we have is a raw apple pie with the pi symbol cut out in the crust. The second pie we have is a frozen key lime pie with black icing in the shape of a pi symbol. So these pies are very different. They both have a lot of sugar. Are they going to carbonize the same? Are they going to be a little different? Either way, it's going to be cool. It's time to load up the pies. We're going to put the key lime pie in first. Next up, we're going to put this little shelf that I made so we can put the other pie in. Now we'll load up the apple pie. Last thing to do with this barrel is put the lid on it and seal it so that very little oxygen can get in. Next up is putting wood between these two barrels. We got this wood from a local cabinet maker. It would normally end up in the landfill, but we got it from them and we're going to use it to create biochar for our farm. We're going to put this chimney on. It's going to run for several hours, cool down overnight, and then we'll check things out in the morning. I can smell it. I can seriously smell the apple pie right now. It's the next day. It's time to check on our pies. Whoa! So this was our apple pie. You can see it shrunk quite a bit. We'll take it out and get a closer look and see if we can get a slice of that. I'm going to take the apple pie out of the pie pan here and get a better look at it. So you can still see the pie symbol here. You can also see where a lot of the pie filling started to come up, and this is the sugar from it. Let's look at the crust a little bit. The crust maintained its detail around the edges. We'll flip it over. Yep, and the bottom stayed pretty firm. Obviously it shrunk a lot and cracked quite a bit. Now, what'll be cool is if we could get a slice of this and see the layers of the crust and the pie filling together. It's going to be kind of hard to do because it is going to just break into pieces, but we're going to do our best to get us a slice of carbonized apple pie. Okay, it's very brittle. It's probably just going to break, so I'll try to just cut it cleanly, as clean as I can on this line right here. All right, let's see what we've got. Oh, look at that. So we can see the layers of crust. There's the top, there's the bottom right there, and then the filling is very, very shiny. It's the apple and the sugar and everything that makes up that pie filling turned out very shiny on the inside of this pie. There's a little bit more of it right there. Let's turn and look at this piece. Yeah, same thing. Crust is nice and airy, and then the inside is that shiny black color. That does not smell like apple pie anymore. And we've carbonized other items made of sugar, and it did not get glossy like this. I wonder if it was the apple or maybe some pectin or something that's in it. So maybe that'll be an experiment we do later where we'll carbonize an apple or maybe a jam and see if we can get some of this glossy colored biochar. Next up, let's see what the key lime pie did. So it definitely did not hold together like the apple pie did. It actually looks more like the candy Legos where it kind of expanded. Let's get a better look at it on the cutting board. So you can see a little bit of the crust right here. This is the outer crust of the pie. It's extremely brittle and just falling apart. Without breaking too much of it, let's see if we could get the middle open. So it looks like it expanded as it heated up and then just carbonized in place. That's what happens in some of our experiments, is some of the items kind of deform before they're carbonized, and others will maintain their form and then carbonize in high detail. So this looks like that's part of the pie symbol, this where the icing was. And what's different about this than the apple pie is it does not have that glossy interior. So there's definitely something in the apple pie that made the biochar come out really glossy. So we'll have to do some experiments, see if we can figure out what that was. So the inside is light and airy, almost like a piece of bread. And I think that's where it expanded and then carbonized. So we're gonna pull this piece out and see if we can find any of the crust on the bottom. Oh, and sure enough, there's the layer of crust. So the crust and then the filling. So I'm gonna bring it over here in the sun so we can kind of show you the crust layers a little bit better. So the crust on the bottom came out smooth, and then it's not very porous, but then the filling is very rough and very porous. There's a slice of apple pie. Let's see if I can get a slice right here. Not really. There, we'll just pull the topping out. There's our nice little slice of carbonized key lime pie. So that's what happens when you carbonize apple pie and key lime pie, but now it's time to break it up. So I'm gonna do this little piece, and I hate to do it because it looks pretty how the edge of that crust is, but we're gonna use this for biochar, so it's time to bust it up. Now we've got apple crumble. Hey look, I don't know if you noticed this in the before picture, but there was a little hole right in the middle of the pie crust. And that's what this little piece is. But this is pretty neat. This is where the crust was along the edge of the pie pan. You can see it's still got the pattern of the pan on it. And it'll break real easily. It actually feels, it was a graham cracker crust, and that actually feels like you're breaking up graham cracker. So this is a piece of the filling, and you can see it's the piece we looked at earlier with the crust on the bottom. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's that graham cracker crust. And hear it? And then we'll try the filling. That's more that snap, that crunch that we get when we break up biochar. If there's a dessert that you want to see us carbonize, put it in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.